Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the energetic EJ. How are you doing today? I hope you're fine. I'm glad to be here again at your screen or on your screen. Okay, so as you already know, this is Daily Boosters. Who are we going to be asking a question today? You want to find out? Yes, let's find out. But before you go, please click on the subscribe button and turn on notification so that you don't miss out on content on this channel. And please tell your friend to tell their friend to tell their friends to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Okay? And let's find out who is answering today's question. See you in a bit. All right, guys. Oh my God. I am super excited about my guest today. It's like, oh my God. It's like almost like a dream come true. Woo! It's an honor to have you here, Dr. Sam. Thank you so much for honoring this invitation. I do not take it for granted. All right, guys. So you can see, if you can see my face, you see that it feels like I'm blushing. All the way from New Zealand. Oh my God. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to go straight into it. So I've been asking this question to a couple of people, and I've been sharing all through the month of January because I believe, just to help people see from different perspective how they can, attend to the same situation. So my question is, how do you boost your day on those days when you feel demotivated? Because I want to believe that no matter how energetic you are, there are those days when you're like low on energy and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? And all of those things. Or when things don't go the way you plan, how do you navigate those seasons to get back on track to smashing your goals?
Thank you very much, Ejiro. First of all, it's a privilege to be on your platform. I do not take that for granted. Thank you for having me. I'm very grateful. Very good question. I remember there was a time I was in school as a lecturer, and one of my students looked at me quite keenly and said, Dr. Sam, are you ever sad? you know, are you ever sad? And I looked at him like, what kind of question is that? He said, because you're always full of energy, always full of light, you're always encouraging people. Is there a time you're ever down? And if you're ever down, what do you do to get yourself back up quickly? Because no one ever notices that you're down. And I think I feel like the same answer that I gave to him would be, appropriate in this manner. And the answer I gave to him was very simple. I said, I find myself down sometimes, not all the time, but I do like all human beings do, no matter how energetic and enthusiastic we are about life. But two key things has really been my guiding light, or that I've really been the things that really resuscitate me, so to speak. Number one, I'm a person of faith, and that is God. The Bible says those who know their God shall be strong and do exploits. One of my favorite scriptures. And every time, in the words of David will say, whenever I'm down, lead me to a rock that is higher than I. So every time, I'm down, I'm always going back to God, saying, one of the major things I've learned about God is the key to intimacy with God is honesty and openness with God. The key to intimacy with God is honesty and openness with God. The truth is, God knows everything about you. He knows your dark secrets. He knows what you're going through. He knows the things that are not going well. So you can't really keep anything away from him. But what makes people depressed and sad and down for a long time is they are hiding away from people, and they're still trying to hide away from God at the same time. And that's risky, that's dangerous. And one of the things in my study of the life of David is that David also, one of the ways he gets himself back up is always having that intimacy with God. You see David being open and honest with God. He said, Lord, you made me, you created me. I may be forming for these people, but I cannot form for you. That's literally what David is saying in many of the Psalm 8, Psalm 132. If you read all of those scriptures that are, accounts of his intimacy with God, David would bear it all before God. He said, you know me, you know my innermost part, you know my innermost being. You created me, you wired all these things. I cannot form for you. I can form for every other person, but with you, Lord, you have seen me finish. You see all that is about me. So, and once he does that, you just see David come out again, and then he's always saying, "I will praise you from the ends of the earth, for you know my days, and to the hills and to the mountains and to the dark." And David is up again. I remember there was a time there was a war, and they had carted away all the wives and children of David and his men, and by the time they got back home, literally the David's men wanted to stone David because they didn't see any hope, anywhere. And the Bible said something. David himself was down. Can you imagine? They carted his own wife to away, but those people wanted to stone him, because they thought he was their leader. He should be able to have answers to the question. And David didn't have any answers. And the Bible said that David encouraged himself in the Lord is God. That's my motto. And I feel that should be the motto for anyone watching this right now. You, as a child of God, if you're a Christian watching this, a person of faith watching this, you should find a way to be able to encourage yourself in the Lord your God. And the key to that is openness and honesty with God, especially as a leader. If you're a leader, you must learn how to, be able to encourage yourself, because there'll be times people won't be able to encourage you. There'll be times people will abandon you. There'll be times where people will be looking up to you for the encouragement, and you're down too.
Wow.
So you've got to learn how to encourage yourself in the Lord. And number two, I said two things. Number two is my purpose in God. Oh my goodness. Every time I think about my purpose in God, I don't believe that I am the same person. In fact, I look at myself and I pinch myself, because I grew up from a very humble background. And whenever I look at my life, and it could only have been the purpose of God for my life that has led me to where I am today. It's simply because God created me for a reason, for a purpose. That's why I'm able to do what I'm able to do. So every time I'm down, I always look at the privileged side of me, that God has turned to who I am today, and go, wow, I'll be ungrateful to stay. I can't complain at all. I'll be ungrateful to stay down for too long. Why? Because every time I look at my past, a time will fail me to share, how I grew up and the circumstances around my birth and so on and so forth, for you to realize that I don't like to use the word lucky, but for lack of a better word right now, I'm just lucky to be where I am, lucky to have a PhD, lucky to be living in New Zealand, lucky to be married to my wife, lucky to have the kids that I have, lucky to do all these things that I do, lucky to have the kind of purpose that I have. I am just grateful man. And whenever I think from the place of gratitude, I'm back up again. That's how I'm able to do all I do. I hope that helps.
Fantastic. Like this has been really, really helpful. I love the two versions, or the two ways that you are able to, get out of that zone and say, wow, just look back, see how far God has brought me. Hey, encourage yourself, and then encourage yourself in the Lord, just like David would do. Thank you so much, Dr. Sam. Thank you. I feel
Thank you for having me, Drew. It's a privilege. It's a great privilege.
Thank you so much. Guys, you've heard it yourself. Please encourage yourself in the Lord, especially if you're a person of faith. That is who you can run to. And I just love the fact that you say, even as leaders, we need to be vulnerable. I know most times we want to be strong for the people that we're leading. We want to feel like, oh, how can they find me on this low estate? So I got to pretend sometimes and just say, but even if we pretend to the people we're leading, we cannot pretend from our Father. It's not going to do us any good. So if there's one thing I took away from this discussion, is that, it can be vulnerable with God. And just using David as an example makes a lot of sense, because you feel like David is that person that you're like, how come? And still, he's the man after God's own heart. So, and he's the one, it feels like he's the one that fell the most of all the great people in the Bible. He's the one that messed up.
It was just completely human, a human being who loved God.
You know me, I can't form for you. I love that. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. My regards to your family.
Thank you,
guys. I'll be back again tomorrow with yet another powerful answer to the same question. Thank you for sticking with me all through till now. God bless you. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on notifications so that you are alerted every time there is a video. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hi. Okay, so I'm back again. You're going to be seeing this face a lot, but thank you for watching today's Daily Booster. I hope that you learned one or two things, okay? So please drop in the comment section what shot at you the most. How do you feel? What do you think about this person's answer, right? So let us hear you, or let us read from you in the comment section. Let's have this conversation. How would you answer that question if I had asked you the same question? So come on, comment in the comment section and let's keep the conversation going. Have a fantastic day, have a motivated day, and boost your day. I'll see you tomorrow.